Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Jessa of Duggar, Sewald and her husband, Ben Sewald, are going to be parents again in March 2025. The couple who starred in TLC's 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off series, Counting On, announced that they are expecting their sixth child. Prior to their wedding on November 1, 2014, Jessa was already thinking about becoming a mom. "We both want to have a big family," she told POPL, adding that they were excited about building a future together, one filled with kids. Jessa and Ben welcomed their first child, son Spurgeon, in November 2015. Their second son, Henry, was born in February 2017, followed by their daughter Ivy in May 2019. After experiencing a pregnancy loss in 2020, Jessa welcomed another daughter, Fern, in July 2021. After another miscarriage in 2022, she gave birth to the pair's fifth child, son George. Here's everything to know about Jessa Duggar Sewald's children: Spurgeon, Henry, Ivy, Fern, George, and the baby on the way. Spurgeon Elliott Sewald 9. Jessa and Ben welcomed their first child, Spurgeon Elliott, on November 5, 2015, just days after their first wedding anniversary. Their son was born at their home in Arkansas after a difficult, nearly 48-hour delivery. "Labor is hard," Jessa told POPL days after his birth, calling the experience very intense and very long. She went through 10 hours of contractions before Spurgeon arrived. "Everything was different than I expected," she added. Shortly after giving birth, the new mom had to be rushed to the hospital for a blood transfusion, but was quickly able to return home and begin her journey into motherhood. "I can't believe he's really ours," she said, calling her newborn son a miracle. The couple spent some time choosing the perfect name for their little one. "We want to give him a strong name, with a lot of meaning," Jessa told POPL at the time. Ultimately, they opted to name him after one of Ben's heroes, the influential British preacher Charles Spurgeon. Jessa has said that her eldest has grown into a sweet and helpful big brother to his three siblings. On the Duggar family blog, she described Spurgeon as a kind, creative, and thoughtful child who loves imaginative play and books. "He's a sweet-hearted, talkative little guy, and he keeps us laughing with the funny things he says," she wrote. "He's thoughtful with his words, thanking people when they do things for him and complimenting if he thinks someone's clothes look nice." Henry Wilberforce Sewald, 8. 15 months after baby Spurgeon was born, Jessa and Ben welcomed their second son, Henry Wilberforce, on February 6, 2017. He was born at home like his older brother, but for Jessa, the second time around was far easier. "Labor is labor, but it was calm and relaxed," she told PBL Ben, "and I were surprised how fast it went. In fact, it was so sudden that Jessa's mom, family matriarch Michelle Duggar, and older sister Jana nearly missed it. They came at the very end," Jessa explained. "I was already pushing when they walked in the door." The reality star may have grown up in a famously large family, but she said adjusting to another baby was still a challenge. "I feel like every day is different," she explained in a 2017 episode of Counting On. "Some days it's very, very simple, other days it's a little more chaotic." Jessa wasn't the only one who needed to adjust. Speaking to POPL after Henry's birth, the couple opened up about Spurgeon's reaction to becoming a big brother. "We thought, this is going to be so adorable. But he wasn't really sure about it," Jessa said. "He thought Henry was a toy." Ben shared their eldest had no concept of being soft. Luckily, that might not have been an issue for Henry, who Jessa described on the Duggar family blog as bold, rambunctious, and full of energy. She shared that he has a strong sense of right and wrong and loves to sing, read, and snuggle with his parents. Jessa celebrated Henry's 6th birthday with a sweet Instagram post. "Henry is a ray of sunshine in our home," she wrote alongside a photo of him with an ice cream cone. She went on to describe his love of reading, building Legos and cuddling up to her before praising his ability to care for his sister Ivy. He's so gentle and caring towards his baby sister and absolutely adores her, Jessa wrote. He's both tender and bold, loving and full of laughter, Ivy Jane Sewald, 6. On May 26, 2019, Jessa and Ben welcomed their first baby girl and third child, Ivy Jane. She feels so tiny compared to her siblings, the pair said in a statement. She is already so loved. Her big brothers adore her, although Jessa and Ben waited to name their sons. They had Ivy picked out for their daughter before she was even born. Ivy Jane, we just liked those two names, Ben said in a TLC clip shortly after her birth. We liked the way those names flowed together. He went on to explain the meaning behind the moniker. With her middle name, she has the biggest, bluest eyes, the mom wrote, adding that she has a remarkable vocabulary and so much personality in such a tiny human. Fern Eliana Sewald, 3. In February 2021, Jessa announced that she and Ben were expecting their fourth baby after experiencing a miscarriage the previous year. On July 19, their baby girl, Fern Eliana, arrived. Unlike her older siblings, who were born at home, she was born in a hospital. In a YouTube video, Jessa opened up about the decision, saying that although she was nervous about the change, she felt it was the best option based on her history. I've had 3 home births, 3 great home births, good experiences, no complications with the birth itself, but I have had postpartum hemorrhage 2 times, she said. Jessa went on to say that although she would miss not having the comfort of home, she was looking forward to the possibility of an epidural this time around. In part 1 of Jessa's birth story video series on YouTube, she admitted that finding the right name for Fern was a bit of a struggle. I feel like the more kids you have, the more you've used up the favorites, she said. And I haven't even always liked the same names from pregnancy to pregnancy. It's kind of changed. Personality-wise, Jessa has described Fern as a sweet, joyful girl. She's just about the happiest baby you'll ever meet, she wrote on the Duggar family blog. She hardly ever cries. She's full of smiles, whether she knows you or not. Her older siblings are constantly bringing her toys or entertaining her. Waiting on her hand and foot in a December 2023 YouTube video about her 5th pregnancy, Jessa shared that Fern was looking forward to becoming a big sister. She is constantly talking about the baby and how excited she is, Jessa said. She tells everybody mommy has a baby in her belly, and she kisses my belly, and she says I want to hold the baby. George Augustine Sewald, 1. In September 2023, Jessa announced that she was expecting baby No. 5 after another miscarriage in 2022. The following month, the former TLC star offered a pregnancy update on Instagram. Every heartbeat heard, every ultrasound seen, every appointment with a good report, the worries fade a little bit more, she wrote alongside a photo of her latest ultrasound. You are so loved, my little one, #rainbow baby. A few months later, Jessa revealed that her son George Augustine Sewald was born on December 19, 2023, sharing a video of his birth on YouTube. Later, she updated with another video that showed her older 4 children meeting their baby brother for the first time at the hospital. Just when you think your heart can't be any more full as a parent, you see your bigger kids loving on the newborn baby, and your heart just swells with emotion, Jessa said. It's the sweetest thing to witness. Jessa and Ben's baby on the way. Jessa is currently pregnant with the couple's 6th child. She announced the news on Instagram in March 2025 by sharing a series of sonogram images. Halfway to holding you in our arms. The reality star captioned the post. Duggar family was suspicious of Jessa's husband during early courtship. Jessa Duggar won't forget the initial reaction some of her siblings had to her now husband, Ben Sewald. I remember joy, especially Jessa, 32, shared on the Wednesday, May 28, episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast. It was so cute. She would sit there and she'd be like, who is this guy? She would just give us this eye. Ben, 30, joked that some of Jessa's siblings had some questions about who this new guy was entering the family picture. There was a little more suspicion, I think, because I wasn't from their friend group, their circle, he explained. I'm this stranger, this outsider. So they were a little more guarded, a little bit suspicious of me. My girls. See Jessa Duggar's sweetest shots with her kids over the years, while the family quickly embraced Ben. Jessa now believes her siblings were simply unsure of a new dynamic in the house. None of my siblings didn't like him as a person, she clarified, but I was the first daughter to be in a serious relationship. Ben and Jessa got married in November 2014, almost a year after their formal courtship began. The couple now share 5 children, sons Spurgeon, Henry, and George, and daughters Ivy and Fern. In March, the former 19 kids and counting star announced she is pregnant with baby No. 6. In her latest interview, Jessa recalled memories of her childhood when she envisioned a day when every single family member would love and adore her partner. Before I was in a relationship, I was like, when I start getting to know a guy, I want every single one of my 19 siblings to love and adore him and give their blessing and approval and just be BFS with him and all this stuff, she explained. I had this high expectation. While Jessa admitted that many of her family members are close with Ben, she learned over time that what matters most is her bond with her husband. Jill Duggar reunites with Mom Michelle and rarely seen younger sisters to celebrate 34th birthday. Jill Duggar sat alone in the nursery, the soft blue walls echoing with silence. The mobile above the crib turned gently in the breeze from the open window, its soft chimes the only sound in the room. The room had been filled with hope once, tiny clothes folded neatly in drawers, picture books lined up on a shelf, and a blanket with the name Arlo stitched carefully by hand. Arlo had been everything. His heartbeat had been the most beautiful sound Jill had ever heard. She remembered pressing her hand to her belly and feeling the flutter of life beneath her skin. She had sung lullabies to him before he was even born. But Arlo came too early. The doctor's words had blurred together, complications, NICU critical. For 10 days, she and her husband, Mark, had lived hour by hour, breath by breath, watching machines and hoping for miracles. They held Arlo as his tiny heart stopped. He had never opened his eyes, never cried, never laughed, but he had been loved beyond measure. Now, months later, Jill visited the nursery every day, not to mourn, but to remember. She read books aloud to the air, sang softly, and whispered to the wind, I love you, my little star. Some days, she lit a candle. Some days, she cried. And some days, she smiled, because she had been Arlo's mother, even for just 10 days. It's hard to say where Jill Duggar stands with Dad Jim Bob today, but she didn't let her birthday pass without spending some quality time with Mom Michelle. In honor of Jill turning 34 on May 17, she celebrated by having a girls' day with her mom and sisters, including some of the youngest Duggars who are rarely seen in public since the end of 19 kids and counting. It looks like despite the drama the family has faced in the past, some of Jill's relationships with her siblings are still going strong. Jill posted photos on Instagram from their outing. Birthday time with Mama and some of my sisters plus gardening plus free at tropical smoothies, Jill wrote in her caption. Swiping through the carousel of photos, there's one where Jill stands surrounded by her mom and some of her sisters in a nail salon. Not only were Jessa and Joanna both there to celebrate, but so were 3 of the youngest Duggar daughters, Johanna, Jennifer, and Josie. She shared even more of the photos on her Instagram stories. On her Instagram stories, Jill shared selfies with Joy, Jessa, and Mom Michelle. Too cute. Everyone looks so happy, which is a great sign for Jill after everything she's been through with her family over the past several years. And even though Jinger wasn't able to be there, she didn't forget to celebrate Jill on her special day. In another post on her stories, she shared that her sister, who lives across the country in California, sent her a cute gardening kit as a gift. Fans were so happy to see them all together again. The comments of Jill's post were flooded with fans, leaving messages about how happy they were to see this Duggar family update, especially when it came to how much Josie, the youngest daughter of the family who is now 15, has grown. "My brain can't handle Josie being grown," one person wrote, while another commented, "Josie has gotten so grown up. I remember when the episode with her birth aired." Others simply shared how good it was to see Jill with her sisters again. "Oh my goodness, that makes me so happy. Sister time is awesome." The update comes after Jill took a break from social media. Earlier this month, Jill shared that she'd be taking a break from social media to enjoy Mother's Day and her birthday, and she returned to Instagram on May 21. "It was so great being off of social media, and we also took a family RV trip during that time, which was amazing," she said. "We've been looking forward to it for a while, and so it was so nice to get away and get a little extra family time."